Let us not forget everything that happens. It's by the will of Allah. Holy will. It's time to unite and stand, and we will be the best amongst men. It's not time to be extreme or duty unthinkable, but to stand together as one. Tune into Sunnah followers, streaming every day, various platforms. Trust me, you'll find a way. Sunnah followers.
Ask Sister Laila, Ask Sister Laila, live weekly for the show at the hour. Ask Sister Laila, Ask Sister Laila, invite your friends and family, make it cozy. Ask Sister Laila.
Okay, alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam ala wa rasulullah. Welcome to the Ask Sister Laila live show. Yay. I like that intro. Y'all know we didn't show the other one, you know, with the, by the way, guys, any questions that you have about Islam, you can type them here on the screen. You can ask your questions several different ways. For those of you who are on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Trovo, D-Live, and Instagram, all you have to do is type your question on the screen and I will be able to see it. And inshallah, I'll have it read and I can answer it. For those of you who are listening and watching on Rumble, and by the way, I do have a nice little following. I'm going to have to pay Rumble a visit. I don't check on Rumble that much, but from what I'm seeing from the stats that come to me, I have about 100 and some followers on Rumble. And I'm kind of surprised because I keep forgetting that I'm on there. But inshallah, guys, I'm going to try to pay Rumble a trip, visit, so I can let you guys know, that welcome you to my classes, to my lectures, and try to encourage you to come in and join our Zoom room so you can participate on the microphone and get to know me and get to know all the other sisters. And also Odyssey. I have about 60 followers, which I was surprised to see, 60 followers on Odyssey too. So for the people on Rumble and the people on Odyssey, I have to let you know that I can't see what you type. Your two platforms are the only ones in which I cannot see what you type. But feel free to text me. This is another way you can get your questions to me. You can text me your question on our WhatsApp program. For those of you who are part of our WhatsApp group, the Sunnah Followers WhatsApp group, please understand you can type your questions there, and one of the sisters will see it, read it, and give it to me. Or you can join our Zoom room. And again, for those of you who would like to join the Zoom room, www.sunnahfollowers.net. Click on Zoom room. That'll bring you directly into our Zoom room, and you can get on the mic or type your questions there for Sister Fame or whoever's in there to read. Or you can call the number on your screen, 862-370-2838, which reminds me, hold on. Wrong background. I'm sorry. Y'all didn't remind me to fix the background. Where's the Zoom background? There. Sorry. Can y'all see it now? Okay. Yeah, that's the number. 862-370-2838. You can dial that number, and I do have moderators standing by to take your call. Yes, I do. I have Sister Mayleon. Where's her picture at? This is one of my moderators. Sister Mayleon is standing by to take your call. She's band 2 from Somalia. Hello, one of my best students. And I also have her sister, Sister Sahara, want to be an airline stewardess. Are you crazy? You can't be no airline stewardess, Sahara. You know, she's standing by to take the phone calls too. So just remember, guys, you know, hit us up, 862-370-2838. You know, for your questions, if you don't want to type them on the screen or join the Zoom room or whatever, okay? And also, nobody knows it all, not even Laila Nasheeba. So if there's a question that I cannot answer, please know that I do have a scholar of this ulama on standby, my personal teacher, Sheikh Abu Atayib. Oh, yeah, he's from Egypt. A lot of y'all have heard of him. Abu Atayib, Google him. It's my teacher. He's on standby. And also, don't forget, we do have Dr. Ibrahim Daramali. So, and by the way, I didn't even show that part of our video, too. Let's take a look at it, y'all. Y'all want to see Dr. Jamali and Sheikh Morsi come in with the cabbage patch? Watch.
Ask Sister Laila, ask Sister Laila, ask Sister Laila, ask Sister Laila, that your friends and family can cozy. Ask Sister Laila.
Y'all see that? They come in with the little cabbage patch at the end. I love that. Yeah, well, subhanAllah, that's that. As y'all can see at the end of that advertisement, that was Sheikh Morsi and Dr. Jamali that come in doing a cabbage patch at the end. I think that's cute. So don't fret. If there's a question that you brothers have that you think that a woman ain't qualified to answer, put it on the screen. And I'll get your question to somebody who can, inshallah. So, and as I'm speaking right now, go ahead and start typing your questions. And who is that coming in on the camera? What's up with the camera? Fresno! Y'all gonna turn that camera off or somebody gonna get up on the camera with me?
I got it.
Yeah, y'all can type y'all's questions now on the screen if you want to. And also, just to remind everybody, tomorrow at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at night, I have a special lecture for you guys that's going to be presented. And I meant to put the thing up. Let me see if I can. Hold on, guys. I want to do this for y'all right quick. Dr. Ali. Where's it at? Dr. Ali Shaheta. He's from Egypt too. One of our teachers here. He's a real doctor, a real physician. He's going to be doing a special lecture tomorrow for all of us here at Sunnahfollowers. I'm trying to upload the video. That's why y'all see that background. He's going to be doing a special lecture tomorrow on It's a Thug's Life. Let me see if I can show y'all this video. Here it is. It's just something we threw together right quick.
Ain't no love, being a thug, running through these streets like it's a place to be. Ain't no love, you're gonna get caught up. Ain't no love, being a thug, running through these streets like it's a place to be. Ain't no love, you're gonna get caught up.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's going to be the special class. I mean, he just gave me the notice of this around 2 this afternoon. So we threw that together. I didn't make the poster. Dr. Ali had the poster made. My posters look better than that. But it's about the thug life, because this is a problem that we're having here in America with our Muslim youth. As I've been speaking about in my series, of the book of Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd's, trying to maintain the fitra of your heart while you're living in a non-faith-filled society. You know, we're losing a lot of our children to the life of this world, the life of America. You know, our children, we try to raise them Muslims, but because we blur the lines, as they say, we blur the lines. Oh yeah, one of my students came up with that. We blur the lines. Our children end up adapting to that gangster lifestyle, that hip hop culture. You know, they become, you know, the hip hop crew, a gangster, drugs, sex, rock and roll, robbing, stealing. So Dr. Ali Shahada, you know, is going to do a special talk about that tomorrow. And I want all the parents to be here. He'll be using PowerPoint too. All the parents to be here and have your children here too, to speak about how we can try to maintain that sense of Islamic identity while living in a non-Islamic environment such as America. So that's going to be tomorrow night. And I know it might be late for some of you, but it's the weekend. It's Saturday. You know, Dr. Ali is a real doctor. And also, you know, he's in Arizona. He lives in is that Arizona? He lives in Las Vegas, Nevada. He's in Las Vegas. So there's a 3-hour time difference. But he wants to share that presentation with us here at Sunnah Followers, knowing that many of the parents here are trying to overcome this life of a gangster with their children. All right, so that's tomorrow at 10:50 p.m. 10:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Put it on your schedules, inshallah. So do we have any questions that I can start off with that's here on the screen right now? Anybody got any? And by the way, for those of you who do join the Zoom room, don't private message me, because even though you guys can see me, I am not looking at you all through the Zoom. I am looking at you through a streaming program. I have 3 cameras here, and I'm trying to stay focused on this one in front of me and not the one over here or there. So I'm looking at you guys through a streaming program, not through the Zoom room. So type your questions publicly so the sisters can see them and read them. Or Famay is here, right? Or you want a private message Famay, and she'll read the questions out loud for you, inshallah. Okay. And I do have one question here from Twitch, and I know she can't see their question, so let me go ahead and ask it. Here's a sister. She's asking, she said, Sister Laila, I'm one of your new shahadas. Alhamdulillah. She said, and I have been learning the Fatiha and praying as you taught us. Am I doing this correctly? She said, the verses that I have learned of Al-Fatiha, I recite them. And then for the ones I don't know, I do the Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, and then I change positions. Am I doing that correctly? And the answer is yes. And I'm so proud of you, sister. You know, Islam is so easy. You know, Islam is so easy. Exactly. As you knew shahadas, you know, remember, until you learn the Fatiha, you don't read from a paper or any of that. You simply do the Allahu Akbar, the opening takbir. The prayer opens with Allahu Akbar. Put your hands across your chest, and whatever you've learned of the Fatiha, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. Y'all see what I'm doing? And then you go Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. Okay? Y'all see that? So yes, when you're in the standing, but that's for the standing position. You do not recite the Fatiha in all positions. You understand? The Fatiha is recited in the Qiyam, the standing position. So whatever you have learned, if you Whatever verses of the Fatiha you learn, recite them, then do your Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. But you should have learned Simi Allahu liman hamidan by now, right? I'm asking you that. Have you learned Simi Allahu liman hamidan? Rabbana wa lakal hamd. You learned that? Good. MashaAllah. Exactly. So say that when you rise up out of bowing. Sami Allahu liman hamidan, Rabbana wa lakal hamd, Allahu Akbar. And then when you go down into prostration, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. Sit up. Y'all, you got it? So are you doing it that way? If you're doing it that way, you're doing it correctly. Okay, she typed yes. Okay, good. So that's right. And that's for everyone here. You know, I know a lot of you new shahadas, y'all convert to Islam. You go to these different masajids or different Muslims telling you different things. They telling you to read off a paper and all this. That's not. How can you concentrate? How can you concentrate on Allah or your words if you're reading from a paper? You know, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us what to do. He said, until you learn the Fatiha, just say Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar in every position because it's easy for the tongue. And what did he mean when he said it's easy for the tongue? That means it doesn't matter what language you speak, what dialect you speak. It's so simple. Those words are so simple that anyone's tongue can form them. So the religion is easy. Don't allow people to make it hard on you. Okay? And may Allah bless you for that, sister. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of all my new shahadas who've been hanging in with us. I got 25 new shahadas since Ramadan, and they've been hanging here with us, learning, you know, and all of that. Yeah, so I'm so proud of you. Just continue to come here and learn. And don't forget, guys, Brother Malik, he has his class Monday through Fridays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And he'll teach you the Fatiha, the Tashahud, or teach you how to read the Quran in Arabic, whatever you need. So just join us Monday through Friday in the Zoom room for that. Yeah. Any other questions? Any of them in YouTube? Facebook? Zoom? Is Famay in Zoom, guys?
No, there aren't any right now.
Okay, good. Okay, here's a question from the polygamies. I knew it was going to happen. Y'all better get them questions together, otherwise we're going to be sitting here talking about marriage all night. Go ahead, sister. Type your question. She said, I got a question. Go ahead. Yeah, just type it. And again, if you want to use the mic, join the Zoom room. That would be even better. Okay. Okay, just keep typing. I'll read what you got so far. She said, Sister Laila. She says, Sister Laila, times are hard. Really? Times are hard. I would like to work. My husband doesn't want me to work. But we could get better if I work. Can I work even though he doesn't want me to work? Lord, didn't we answer this? This is the same type of question. Oh, Lordy. I want you sisters to understand what I've been trying to explain to you all week in the 6 o'clock class. Islam is not just a religion, but it is a way of life. Allah has set guidelines and rules in effect for women, men, and even children for our betterment. because Allah created us to worship him, and he wants the best for us. Okay? There are certain rules and guidelines that men have to follow. Allah tells us that he created men a degree above us. What does that verse of the Quran mean? He created men as a degree over us. That means they have physical strength over us. They can also handle emotional situations better than us. And also, they don't suffer with PMS like we women do. You know, so they can think quicker than us at times. I didn't say better than us. I said quicker than us at times. At times. So because Allah created men to be of a higher standard, they have more responsibilities and obligations over us than we do over them. Number one, he is supposed to be the provider, the maintainer, the protector of the family. Allah did not create us women to have to go out in the world and deal with the fitna, the hardships of people, the hardships of life. That's for the man to deal with. Okay? Men are obligated. What does that mean? Providing and maintaining your family is an obligation, just like making salat is an obligation, just like wearing hijab is an obligation. That's an obligation for the men. The men are supposed to take care of the women, even the single women in Islam. Even if you are not married in Islam, the men, the males of your family, we know they ain't doing it. But just because the men ain't doing it, does that make it not existent? No. The men in your family are supposed to take care of you, even if you're not married. And they're going to be held accountable for that. They may get away with it in this world, but on the day of judgment, they're going to have to stand before Allah, and Allah is going to ask them, why didn't you take care of your sisters? Why didn't you take care of your nieces? Why didn't you take care of the single women in your family like I commanded you to do? So it's the man's job to provide, maintain, not yours. It is your job as a Muslim woman to guard in your husband's absence what he would have you to guard, meaning his property, yourself, his children. Okay? It's your obligation as a Muslim woman to satisfy his sexual needs because he's weak. If you don't, he'll go crazy and do some crazy stuff. Okay? So we obey our husbands and what Allah has commanded us to obey them in. And we obey Allah in everything that Allah commanded us to obey him in. So it ain't your job to work. That's his job. If that means he has to go out and work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs, so be it. That's his problem. That's his life. Your job is to stay home. Take care of those children and guard in your husband's absence, yourself, his property, you know, and make sure the bills get paid. That's our job as women, to write the paychecks. Oh, yeah. It's his job to go make the money. He bring it home. It's your job to make sure that the bills get paid with what he brings home. Do you sisters understand? So even though life could be a lot better if you worked a job, still, the simple fact that Allah said it ain't your job to do it, and your husband told you, no, I don't want you to do it, then you don't do it. And if you go get a job, First of all, you making Allah angry. And whenever we make Allah angry, what happens? Allah puts his curse on us. And when Allah puts his curse on us, that means anything can happen to you at any moment. It ain't a pleasant way to go. So no, you don't get a job. You stay home, take care of your husband, take care of your responsibilities at home. Let your husband go out and work 2, 3, 4 jobs. And Allah knows best. Is that clear with everybody? You know, we got this women lib stuff going on, it seems like. The sisters got it twisted. We want to be westernized, Americanized, all kind of civilized. And that's why Allah is angry. So no, you don't get no job. You stay home. It's better for you. Yeah. No questions in the Zoom room?
I have a question. A few questions. One of them is, are my mother's uncles my mahram?
Oh, that's a question you asking me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So oh, they are? Okay. Because I haven't, I don't shake hands with them because I thought that they're not, they're like, I didn't know. So I'm asking.
Your mother's uncles are your uncles.
Okay.
That's family.
Okay. And the other question, actually, Sister Fatima, she wanted to know something. One of her friends, she works in a hospital, and I don't know what position she has or anything, but they said that she can't wear the sleeves.
Then tell her she needs to go find another job. Okay. Because we cannot strip our clothes off for nobody. What kind of, well, that's not America, because America wouldn't tell no woman that. So where you live, they telling y'all to get naked with your arms?
She lives in a different part. She lives in this, so I guess over there it might be different from where I live.
They don't want her to cover her arms?
Yeah, that's what she said. They don't want to, at least under her scrubs.
Well, tell her go find another job. Yeah, because okay. I'm sorry, we don't strip off our clothes for nobody. The Aisha radiallahu anha, and this hadith is something that you sisters need to really think about when y'all come to compromising your religion for money. Oldest profession. When women think, consider compromising their Islamic morals for money, which is the oldest profession in the world, I want y'all to think about this. Aisha radiallahu anha said, any woman who takes off her clothes in a place other than her home has torn down the barriers between herself and Allah. The source of that hadith is Muslim. So I want you sisters who are all about the money, because again, life repeats itself. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said one of the signs of the last hour is women will deviate away from the laws, the rules, the guidelines that Allah set forth for them. Women will take on the role of men, trying to be men out in the streets, working and all of that. And with trying to work comes, again, having to sell yourself. Before Islam, women had to sell themselves in some way or fashion to be acknowledged, because women were looked at as a piece of meat, and that's all we were. Well, we're back to that. You're just a piece of meat. So before you sisters think about the reverting back to the oldest profession where you have to sell yourself for money, think about, is it worth tearing down my protection with Allah? Is me showing my arms, because today it's an arm they want to see. Tomorrow it's going to be a thigh. The next day it's going to be some cheek of the butt. Eventually you're going to be back naked like you used to be, walking around the Kaaba. Oh yeah. Signs of the last day. So tell her to go find another job. Bottom line. And Allah knows best. Y'all understand that, you sisters? Because it is stuff about you women blurring the lines. You know, you women trying to fit in with the Western world. Y'all gonna have to fear Allah on that and change. I wouldn't take off my clothes for nobody. Period. Dot. I'm like Habiba. I'll go out and eat grass and dirt before I sell myself. Because Allah is the provider. Allah is the maintainer. Allah is the sustainer. As Muslim women, we learn from how it used to be before Islam, you know, that Allah, as long as I'm living, Allah will cause me to survive. He'll find a way for me. I give up this job for his sake, he'll replace it with something better. There's a lot of jobs out there. There's a lot of things I can do besides work in a hospital. I'll go work at CVS as a cashier. I'll even go work in McDonald's as a cashier before I strip off my clothes. Today you want me to remove my arms. Tomorrow it's going to be my hair. Then it's going to be my breasts. You're going to do to me what Western culture has done to the Western woman, where the Western movie stars, actresses, singers, if they want to be famous, they got to get naked. Unless I strip and walk around in a pair of drawers and a bra, I'll never be famous. Unless I go get Botox, body tucks, I'll never be acknowledged. Well, I refuse as a Muslim woman to allow the Western world to do that to me. So you sisters are going to have to woman up and Muslim up. And ask yourself, do I really believe La ilaha illallah, or am I just a hypocrite? Selling myself, a part of the oldest profession on earth. And Allah knows best. Any other questions in there?
Yes, the next question is, a brother wants to know, he heard a video on YouTube that a sheikh said not all the angels know how to read the Quran, only the angel Jibril does. Is this true?
What he needs to do is go back and ask the so-called sheikh that he heard it from. Can you give me your dalil? So he shouldn't be asking me that. Whenever you guys hear Muslims make statements like that, remember Allah says in the Quran, he hates everything that he made unlawful. And of all the things he hates, the thing he hates the most is for any of us to mention him or speak about him without knowledge, or to speak about his angels or anything else without knowledge. So if this brother was telling the truth, what he should have done is what you brothers hear me do all the time, provide the clear proof. And if he didn't provide the clear proof, then I would suggest you go back and ask him. Okay? And I want all of y'all, if y'all choose to listen to these YouTube speakers, when I keep telling y'all 97%, I repeat, 97%, I repeat, 97% of the people on social media calling themselves people calling you to Allah, they're only calling you to hell. So y'all need to make them prove it. The same way you brothers come in here and try to challenge me when you ain't got to challenge me, because I always give Dalil. Why don't y'all take that huff puff attitude with these men that y'all think are scholars and make them prove it? And Allah knows best. Okay.
The next question is, I have a thought. Continuing to understand more about public spectacle, it helps to also lowering your gaze because you recognize the importance of being educated and refrain from zina.
Yes. That's why we women are not, exactly, Brother Abdullah. That's why we Muslim women are not supposed to make a public spectacle of ourselves. In fact, Allah says in the Quran, when he says that, I want y'all to pay attention to the words in English, the interpretation of the meaning. The words are everything. He says, oh, you women who believe, when you go outside the homes, do not make a public spectacle of yourself like you used to do before Islam. That last part is important. Like you used to do. Like I tell y'all, in the 6th century, women had to be a spectacle. If a woman did not make herself a spectacle, she would not be acknowledged as anything. She could be killed. So women had to be spectacles. They had to be whatever a man thought they should be in order to survive, because women had no rights before Islam. Well, when Islam came, Allah gave women rights. That's when Allah told the believing men to live with your wives in harmony, in love. Don't abuse them. Don't mistreat them. They're not jinn. They're not animals. They're human like you. When, oh, believing men and oh, you believing women, you're equal in the plight towards paradise. So Allah raised women up from the status where we don't have to go around trying to attract attention to ourselves no more. I'm more than a piece of meat. I'm not just a piece of meat. I'm a body. I'm a mind. I think. I have feelings. I'm not an animal. I'm not a jinn. I'm more than just your pleasure toy. So since Allah gave us these rights, he's telling us now that I have raised you up to the level of dignity. Don't go around behaving like you used to. There's no need for you to sell yourself. There's no need for you to prance around for attention. Your words are taken into consideration now. So you don't have to become a spectacle to be acknowledged. So be yourself, a creation of dignity, humility, and balance. Exactly. When we women make ourselves public spectacles, look at Nicki Minaj, look at Beyonce, look at Ariana Grande, look at the hip hop scene, guys. These female singers, they got to walk around looking like prostitutes. Otherwise, they're not acknowledged. Look at Taylor Swift. Look at these women. If they don't walk around looking like that, they're not going to be nothing. They'll be treated like nothing. They won't get paid the money that the male artists get or anything else. They have to sell their sex, sell their beauty, sell their glamour. You know, otherwise they're nothing. So Allah is telling us women, we don't have to do that. So don't behave that way. But here we got Muslim women wanting to be Nicki Minaj, Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande. That's sad. Okay. And yes, women and men, we're all supposed to lower our gazes. We're not supposed to look at that which may cause us to lead to sin. Yeah. Okay, any other questions?
The next question is, Sheikh Jailani passed and left the decree that his wife, Noor, is now in charge of TMOA. Is it permitted she's leading brothers in Salat? I just need to hear you answer the question.
First of all, I don't know who the heck a Sheikh Jailani was, could care less. I don't know who his wife Noor is. Never heard of no TMOHEB LBGQ either. But I can answer the part of your question about a woman leading a man in prayer. Islam forbids a woman to lead a man in prayer. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, any man who prays behind a woman, his prayer is not accepted. Not accepted. Not accepted. Okay? So I don't know who these people are. It sounds to me from the name Jelani, that's a Sufi name. It's probably some Mutazilite. I don't know. But we're living in the days of fitan. Okay? Women do not lead men in prayer. Any man who prays behind a woman, the Prophet Muhammad said his prayer is not accepted. This is another one of the signs of the last hour. The Prophet said women will take over the affairs of men and lead them. So, no. So I don't know who these people are. I don't care who they are. But if you know that they're wrong, then what are you doing with them? Remember, this is for you, brother. Allah tells us in the Quran, do not sit in the company of people who commit sin. So the question is, what are you doing with these people? You're not supposed to be involved with them. You're not supposed to go to their masjid. You're not supposed to sit in their company. Why are you all in their business? Okay, we don't deal with people like that. So the thing is, you already know the answer. Then why are you there? Brother Sadiq, why are you with these people if you know it's haram? Are you trying to test Laila Nasheeba? I'm kind of taking it personal now, because when you ask a question and then I give you the answer, you type who they are and say I'm right. Are you quizzing me? Are you trying to figure out, am I a woman that leads men? I'm taking offense. Why would you ask me that question? All right. Okay, next question. And I'm telling you guys, don't come in here trying to play with Laila. Don't come in here trying to quiz me. I ain't the one. Bring it. Next question.
Okay, I have a few questions. The first question is, can my non-Muslim nephew be around me even if I'm not wearing hijab?
Your nephew. There's nothing wrong with your nephew. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the aunt is like the mother. Your nephew is a mahram to you. He's like a son to you. You know, one of the things that made Aisha radiallahu anha so sad was the fact that she never had children. You know, every woman would like to have children. And what really got to her was when Allah decreed for Maria radiallahu anha to get pregnant. That was something that Aisha struggled with. She was like, why did he not let me get pregnant? And the Prophet had to comfort her and had to tell her, never ask why Allah does what he does, Aisha. You know, Allah does what he does because he does. And she said, but everybody has a kunya. Everybody's had a child but me. And that's when the prophet looked at Aisha. He said, oh, Aisha, don't you know that the aunt is like the mother? Your sister's children are your children. Your brother's children are your children. He said, name yourself after your sister's oldest child. That'll be your kunya. He said, and treat your sister's children, because she was very close with Asma, her sister Asma, radiallahu anha. He said, treat her children as if they were yours. You know, so the aunt is like the mother, you know, and the grandmother is like the mother. The aunt, the grandmother, this is the close relatives. So yes, your nephew is a mahram to you. He's your baby. And Allah knows best. Yeah.
So the next question is, if a husband leaves his wife after an argument and it's going on 5 years with absolutely no contact, no phone calls, emails, or texts, are they still considered married?
A woman and a man is considered married unless the man says to the woman, I divorce you. It's not based on whether they live in the same house. It's not based on how long you've seen him. It's based on speech. The man, unless your husband tells you, I divorce you, you are still married. Or unless you go to a judge who specializes in divorce. I didn't say imam. I said a judge who specializes in divorce and apply for a divorce, you are still married. Divorce doesn't just happen out the clear air. Just like marriage doesn't just happen out the clear air. It takes words and actions. So I don't care if you haven't seen your husband in 1,000 years. The fact that he's never divorced you, you're still married to him. And Allah knows best.
Next question is, what does Tirmidhi, Mishkat, and Riyadh Salihin mean?
Those are just names of people. Names of people who used to live back in the 8th century, and they were scholars of hadith. And they used to gather the things that the Prophet Muhammad said and the things that the Prophet Muhammad did, collect them, and preserved the sayings and doings of the Prophet Muhammad. Those were the names of some men who were scholars of hadith. That's all. They're just names like John, Abel, Layla. It's just they were Persian. Most of them were Persian. So they're not American names like Sally. But these are just names of books, the names of men who were scholars of hadith. Imam Tirmidhi, Imam Ahmed, okay? Imam Muslim, Imam Bukhari, those were men. That's what's their names. Those were their real names. They're just not American names. You understand now? Ask the person.
Okay.
Does he understand?
Yes, yeah, they understand. They're listening to you.
Oh, okay.
Next question is, I told my father that I'm having sexual urges and dreams and that I want to get married soon if he could start looking. This has been happening for a while. He told me, no, I'm not ready. I'll be all right. Just focus on school, nothing else.
How old is the child?
19.
And is it a male or a female?
It's a female.
Do you know that person's father?
Yes, I know her father.
Will you tell that father to get that girl married unless he want her to come home pregnant with some kafir ugly, bring some ugly monster in the world who's kafir, whose father's kafir? What does he mean she ain't ready? Anytime a girl has her period, she's ready. Whenever a girl starts her menses, she's ready for sex. That's where our PMS comes in. So whether he thinks she's ready or not, tell him he's going to have to make himself ready to face the reality. Either he let this 19-year-old woman get married so that she can be legally married and bring children in this world who are Muslim, or he can act like a non-Muslim and let his daughter just have sex with the boy next door, or maybe with his best friend. Happens. So tell whoever this girl's father is, if you know them, and have your father talk to him. He better get her married. She is ready. She's been ready. I was ready to marry when I was 9 years old. That's why I got married at 14. Hello. You brothers got to let go of these little girls. These girls are ready. You can't nothing stop a girl when she hits puberty. Girls believe in love the Titanic way. You jump, I jump. We're surrounded by sex here in America. It's on TV. It's in our books. We got Nicki Minaj. Ariana Grande is the same age your daughter is when she was having sex. Miley Cyrus was having sex at the age of 12, had about 3 or 4 abortions. Hello? Papa better wake up. Stop throwing your daughters out to the streets, man. Get that girl married. And Allah knows best. All right. Next. That's serious, brothers. Y'all better get these girls married. They coming to you telling you, I'm ready. I got to get married. Then get her married. Or she gonna go get herself laid and paid. And then she'll tell you, forget marriage. You would try to get her married then, but she'll tell you, I done tasted life now. I learned that I ain't got to get married to taste it. So I'm going to keep tasting it. You brothers are making mistakes with your children, your daughters. Get those girls married while they're young. And Allah knows best.
Okay, so the last question I have is, okay, it's kind of long. Let's see. I am a woman who's been previously married and take care of my children and have my own home. I asked my guardian to check a brother out for me that I'm interested in. His response to me was, no, you are not wife material because you don't obey and respect me as your father. What makes you think you'll obey and respect a husband? Everyone in the family was shocked when he said this, including my son and my mother. So what can I do in this situation?
Okay, I talked about this before, guys. Those hadiths about you can't get married and all that, those are talking about young virgin girls. We seem to forget the hadith of the Prophet. What's the source? Bukhari and Muslim. The Prophet said when a previously married woman comes to you and tells you she's ready to get married, then marry her because she knows herself better than you do. And once a woman has tasted the sweetness of life, like I'm telling this brother here, ain't no stopping her. So this is a grown old woman who done had cheering. You ain't got to go to your daddy to get married. If your father is refusing to marry you, then go to your brother. Go to your son. How old is her son?
She has 2 sons. Her oldest is, they're 16 and 14.
Her 16-year-old son can marry her. Hello? How does she got brothers?
Yes, she does, but they don't
They don't practice, she said, but they're Muslim.
It don't matter whether you practice or not. So I want you women to understand, those of you women who are older women who've already been married, done been there, done that, and got children, and you ready to get married again. You go to your guardian, and if your guardian refuses, that's when you can go to someone else. But they don't just marry you. They have to check. Like, for example, let me use myself as an example. Before you use your 16-year-old son, you could use him, but I wouldn't even recommend that. You go to an imam who specializes, listen to the words, who specializes in marriage and divorce. And you tell them, I am ready to get married, but my guardian refuses to marry me because he just don't want me to get married for whatever stupid reason he got. Because the prophet said you can't refuse me anyway. I'm a grown woman with children. What that guardian will do is what that imam will do is call your father. And he will ask him, is it true that you refuse to marry your daughter? And then the imam will try to convince him, Aki, this is wrong. That ain't Islam. This is a grown old woman. You marry her. And if the father refuses, then that imam will become your guardian and can marry you. Do you understand? Those other hadiths reply to these young virgin girls. That ain't talking about you and me who done been married already and got kids and old as heck about to die. Can't nobody stop us from getting married. But you don't marry yourself. You have to go to an imam that specializes in marriage and divorce and tell him, you know, my guardian is stupid. And let the imam call to verify that you ain't lying. And hopefully 9 times out of 10, the imam will get your father to marry you. Or if not, the imam can marry you himself. Do you understand how it goes now? If your son were old enough, then you could use your son. But this is America. These kids are messed up in the head. If you had a son that was in his 20s or 30s or 40s, he could have been your guardian. But this is a 16-year-old. So you go to an imam that specializes in marriage. And Allah knows best. But that imam has to verify with your father that your father refused to marry you. You understand? Does she understand?
Yeah, she understands. Yeah, she does.
So tell her to find an imam that specializes in marriage. They all over. Most imams do now. She live in California. Y'all got a mosque. That imam, then that big mosque, he got it. The one from Egypt that I think is from my family, he specializes in that. Call him. Okay, go ahead. Say what?
Sister Laila, Maisha said, can you clarify about if, like, my sons are not practicing, if she wanted to get married and they were her wali?
Guys, we got to get out of this Kharijite. You know, the Muslims today, we wonder why Allah has sent the war. Either we're too far to the right or we're too far to the left. We are so quick to call each other kafir. That is a curse. That is sad. Unless your brothers deny La ilaha illallah, they are not kafir. Do y'all understand that? Unless your children deny that Allah is Allah, unless they deny that the things they're doing are sins, y'all got to stop cursing your families. This is why our families ain't practicing Islam, because we done cursed ourselves. The prophet was asked, how do we curse ourselves? We curse ourselves. We curse our families by calling our families kafir. Whether your brothers practice or not, have they denied, had asked her, has her brothers denied La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah? Have they ever denied that?
So she said one of her brothers says he's Christian / Muslim. And
okay, there's no such thing as a Christian / Muslim. So that's different. That is denying La ilaha illallah. Because you can't be half Christian and half Muslim. So her brother in this case has denied La ilaha illallah. So tell her in her case, go to the imam at that, you know what mosque I'm talking about. Go to that, not the one at Fresno at. Go to that other mosque and ask that, tell that imam your problem. That Egyptian imam at that other mosque where you live at. Go to him. Tell him that your father refused to get you married. And he'll know how to take it from there. He's a graduate of El Azhar University. And I think he's from my family. Me and Atlee's. Because he looked like me and Sheikh Atlee. So go to him. He'll know what to do. And Allah knows best. Brother Sadiq, what does that word mean? And don't play the Arabic game. Brother Sadiq, what does that word that you typed on the screen mean in English? Brother Sadiq, answer your own question. What does that word that you typed on the screen mean in English? Okay, now you answer your question. Can you call another person a hypocrite? Do you know what a hypocrite is? We got to start thinking. Remember, the prophet said that the number two reasons as to why most people will be in hell is because either they couldn't control their private parts. He said marriage takes care of that. Or they couldn't control their tongue. They say things out their mouths without thinking. So we need to think before we speak. Just ponder. What does the word hypocrite mean? And now you tell me, can you call another Muslim that? What's a hypocrite? Can anybody answer that? What is a hypocrite in Islam? Can anybody answer that? What's a hypocrite?
A person who says they truly believe
what is a hip? Okay, well, what is it? What is a hypocrite in Islam?
That's an unbeliever.
A hypocrite is a kafir. So you're basically still calling another Muslim a kafir. Y'all got to stop playing the name game. A hypocrite is a kafir. We cannot refer to other people as being cursing ourselves. That's why our apostasy is so high. We got to start thinking before we speak. Okay, next question.
Okay, let me get Ahmed's question before it gets lost. He said, can a person have platinum or silver partials?
There's nothing in Islam that forbids anybody from having any type of partials. Allah doesn't mention anything about partials. Allah doesn't mention anything about platinum. Allah doesn't mention anything about any of that. And as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the things that Allah has never mentioned are lawful. So we have to learn to accept the concessions of Allah. And Allah knows best. There's your dalil. Yeah.
Can a Muslim couple hire a Muslim man to take their wedding pictures and video?
What kind of wedding did these Muslims have? This is another one of the signs of the last hour. We will imitate the kafir in everything they do. And as Muslims, we don't get married like that. We don't walk down the aisle. We don't have wedding pictures like that. You know, this is not our culture. That's the culture of the unbelievers. Everybody understand? That's the culture of the unbelievers. So why would you even take wedding pictures like that? Remember, we talked about this earlier today. What does it mean to make yourself a public spectacle? See what I'm talking about? Y'all see why I want y'all to learn what a public spectacle is. You want to put yourself on display publicly and bring attention to yourself for no reason. No reason. The kafir do that stuff. Okay? So, to answer this question, can I have a man take a picture of me? There's nothing in Islam that mentions anything about a man taking a picture of me. Allah makes no mention about taking a picture. So it falls in the category of a concession. You know, if I had my next door neighbor take a picture of me in my car, or take a picture of me like right here. I do, y'all see me posing a lot of times. Some of the brothers are coming here and say, Layla, I'm advertising your website for the mosque, for the sisterhood. Take a picture. So I'll take a screenshot. And this ain't for them. It's for those sisters that I got some brothers advertising my classes. And the women have a right to know who I am. This is Laila Nasheeba. Her Q&A show. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm dressed properly. I'm covered. I'm dressed properly. I'm not standing up. I'm sitting down. All they getting is this. So the sisters know who I am. And then they come in. There's nothing wrong with that. But my question to you is, what kind of wedding you got that you hiring photographers? Why would you hire somebody to take a picture of you when you can snap your own picture? It sounds to me like you had a Christian wedding. And you're going to answer to Allah for that Christian wedding. Oh, yeah. That's a big sin. What about wala wa better? We're supposed to distance ourselves. As Muslims, distance ourselves. As Muslims, distance ourselves against anything that contradicts our Islamic morality, our Islamic values, our allegiance to Allah, to the religion of Islam. Why would I hire somebody to come and take a picture of me marrying some deadbeat? Seriously. And I'm calling him a deadbeat because why was he a part of it? Both of y'all. Deadbeats. Here, take a picture of us. America's most wanted. Wannabe Muslim wannabes. We got to start thinking like Muslims, guys. Get our allegiance together. Why would you hire a professional photographer? Who you think you are? You Marilyn Monroe? Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Trying to blend in and be Western. Where's your Muslim identity? Take a picture of you and your husband yourself. And Allah knows best. That's called wasting money. That does fall in the category of extravagance. Allah says in the Quran, sister, He hates extravagance. I'm going to give you your dalil. He hates extravagance. What does extravagance mean in Islam? To spend money on what you don't need. So you're going to hire a photographer to take pictures of you and your deadbeat husband. That's a waste of money. Okay, and Allah knows best. Y'all see? Boy. Yeah, I know. One of the sisters here type, yeah, that's what they do. One of the sisters here is type, and that's the thing now. We have these big marriages like the Kafir women do. We walk down the aisle in our white dresses with the ring. The man give you a ring, and we have a big party afterwards, and we hire photographers. Yeah, that's Christian, ain't it? Is that Islam? No. And we wonder why Allah sent the war. And y'all think the war getting ready to stop? No, it's going to spread right here to America. Well, okay. Yeah, next question. Go ahead. Oh, yeah. And by the way, the sister here said that they doing it that way here. She's in the Emirates. She said even the Arab countries are imitating the Christians with these weddings. It's ridiculous. She said it's ridiculous. Yes, it is. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, next question. Go ahead.
The next question is, a brother wants to know, if I want to approach a girl's guardian to ask for her hand in marriage, do I have to take my father with me, or can I just approach on my own?
You don't. This is the man wanting to approach the guardian. You don't have to have your father with you, but you want to, no, you don't have to have your father with you as a man. You just can't approach her. You can approach her guardian however you want. I would take my father with me so that my father and him can meet, just to be polite and let the man see that I'm a considerate, kind, polite person and all of that. But you don't have to. Do you understand? You can introduce yourself to the father. Just introduce yourself to him and just tell him who you are, and, take some flowers for her mother, take a Quran to give to him, and tell him that I would like your daughter's hand. But in Islam, does Islam require that your father be with you? No, you can do it yourself. And Allah knows best. Yeah. Islam doesn't require that your father be with you. Okay. And that's the right way. In Islam, we don't approach the girl. The man does not approach the woman. You approach her guardian. And that's another reason why a lot of our marriages don't work out, because we don't do them in accordance to the laws of Islam. We've become westernized. The lines have been blurred. But that's the proper way to approach her guardian. And I'm proud of you for doing that. You approach the guardian, not the girl. That will impress her guardian too. And Allah knows best. Yes, Brother Abdullah. Brother Abdullah said he can see that public spectacle goes a long way. Yes, indeed, Abdullah. Now you get it. We're making ourselves a public spectacle. Not just the women, but the men too. Our weddings are public spectacles. Is that Islam? Oh, no, that ain't Islam. Everything we do is supposed to be with dignity, humility, and balance. But we've deviated so far away from that. Sad. Really sad. Yeah. Is it better for me to sleep in my truck rather than with a female roommate who's not Muslim and hinders my deen? What do you think, Brother Sadiq? Brother Sadiq, that's a basic question that you should be able to answer. What do you think, Brother Sadiq? Do you think it's better for you as a truck driver to sleep in a room with a woman or who compromises your deen, as you said? Or do you think it would be better for you to sleep in your truck? I mean, you answer that. That's a question that you should know the answer to. What do you think? What do you think? I mean, whether it was winter, whether it was summer, what do you think? Regardless of what the circumstances are, do you think that in Islam it would have been okay for you to sleep with a woman in a room with a woman who hinders your deen at all? Or would it have been better to be in a truck? What do you think? It doesn't matter if it was winter, summer, spring, or fall. Okay, next question. Any other questions there in the Zoom?
Yes, one more. Well, there's a few more. Can my brother, so is my kula valid if my brother did it on my behalf?
What?
So she got a kula, but her brother handled it on her behalf instead of her doing anything.
Who is this?
A sister.
What? I don't know the details of her divorce or the marriage. I don't know.
Okay, let me get it from her. Hold on. So somebody else can ask a question. Let me get the information.
Yeah.
In the meantime, a question here, it says, can a Muslim sleep on their stomach?
Okay, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbade us as Muslims from imitating the jinn. And he said, do not sleep on your stomach because the jinn sleep on their stomachs. And that's a Dawood and Tirmidhi hadith, and it's authentic. Okay, so we do not sleep on our stomachs. You can sleep on your back. You can sleep on your right side or your left side, but avoid the stomach because that's the way the shayateen, the devils sleep, the evil jinn sleep. And we're supposed to do the opposite of them. And Allah knows best. Yeah.
Sister Laila.
Mm-hmm.
You know who that is.
Yeah, but let it alone. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, any other questions like that? And by the way, we're covering all that in our class on Saturdays. Well, we did cover imitation of the jinn. And that's one of the things that Sheikh Atlee didn't put in his book, though. The jinn walk with one shoe on and one shoe off. They eat with their left hand. They walk around with their hair in dreadlocks. They don't comb their hair. They let their hair grow and knot up. That's why them dreadlocks is haram too. And they sleep on their stomach. They sit with their bodies half in the shade and half under in the sun. Yeah, we have to do the opposite of the jinn. Yes.
Okay, so more details is that the question earlier when I was telling you that she didn't have any contact with the brother, there was no emails, no texts, no anything. Remember the question I asked you earlier? Okay, so due to that, her brother went to the imam at the masjid who specializes in divorce and came back and told her, okay, it's handled, you guys are divorced.
Okay, how did the imam handle it? How did he divorce her?
Okay, she'll text me right now and tell me.
Unless unless the imam contacted the man. Because what happens when a woman issues a kula, The imam who specializes in divorce, who's a religious the Islamic jurist, he contacts the man and says, you are hereby divorced. So did the imam contact the man and tell the man he was divorced? Unless the imam did that. If the imam did that, then she's divorced. But he has to contact the man. You're just not divorced automatically. Like I said, you got to make some word movement. We don't read minds in Islam.
Okay, so she said that the brother gave her an STD and she wanted out the marriage, but he refused and left. No one could reach him, neither the imam.
Nope.
Reach him, sorry.
Nope, that ain't no legal divorce. Nope, she's still married. No. We just don't divorce. No. They got to make an attempt to find that man. What you mean nobody reached him? He got family, he got friends. He ain't just dropped off the face of the earth. You have to make contact with a person to divorce. Okay, so tell her she needs to go to whoever that imam was and tell that imam, did you make contact with this dude? Because if you didn't, I'm not divorced. This is the problem when we play with hood people. You got to play with real people. That's why I said a person that specializes. If a person specializes in marriage and divorce, he would have made contact with this man. He would have even sent an email to this man divorcing him. If the imam didn't make contact, she is not divorced. This is a brother that doesn't know about marriage and divorce. That's why I tell y'all it has to be a person that specializes in marriage and divorce. Okay, and Allah knows best. And no, brother Face, you cannot lay on your stomach, sweetheart. Yeah, you cannot lay on your stomach. Yeah, avoid laying on the stomach. Now, don't sleep on your stomach and don't lay on it. There's another hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that the jinn lay on their stomach with their legs up. How many of you see people do that? They lay on their stomach with their legs up in the air right while they're reading. We can't do that. That's how the jinn lay. So stay off of your stomach. Stay off your stomach unless you have no choice due to a medical reason or something. And Allah knows best. You got it, Brother Jay? Good question. Good question, Brother Jay.
The question here says, how does the jinn sit?
I don't know, but one of the ways they sit is half in the shade and half out the shade. That's why we can't sit that way when we're outside. Either you're going to sit all the way in the shade or sit all the way in the sun. Don't sit with half your legs in the sun and the other half in the shade. And Allah knows best. There's another hadith where the jinn sit by stooping. That's why we don't sit stooping. They sit stooping with their private parts hanging to the ground. We don't do that either. The bottom line is just sit and lay the way the Prophet taught us. Because if you're walking around like that, something wrong with you anyway. You look crazy. Because even kafirs don't sit like that. Okay? And Allah knows best.
Another question says, does my father have the rights to charge me rent because I work now?
Yeah. There ain't nothing in Islam to say he can't. He needs some help with the bills. Living in America ain't easy. It's hard. It's hard to live the vida loca. Living la vida loca. Y'all come to America. coming to America so y'all can live la vida loca. Yeah, your daddy can tell you since you went out and got a job. See what happens, women? Do you sisters see what happened when we try to westernize? You want to be a Western woman? Take on the problems of the Western woman. Pay your rent, buy your food, milk your own cow, make your own shoes, pay your lights, pay your gas, pay your own phone bill, pay your cable. All of that comes with the territory. So yeah, you want to live live la vida loca. You want to live like the Western women. Yeah, your daddy can charge you rent. He can make you pay for your food, your clothing, your everything else. Comes with the territory. I keep telling y'all sisters to stay at home. Y'all don't want to stay home. Y'all want to be like the Kaffir girls. The Kaffir girls got it hard in this world. Don't y'all know that? What Oprah Winfrey say? I had to fight all my life. Yeah, that's the life y'all want. Y'all want to fight all your life. So you want to be a Western woman. So yes, he can charge you rent. Comes with the territory. It's the reality. That's what I'm telling you, so y'all better think. We have to work on our Muslim identity. We have to work on our Muslim identity and own it. Own it. And realize that it's praiseworthy. The Muslim woman is treated with respect, with love, with kindness. Allah knows what's best for us, but no, we want to go over Allah's head and be like these Kaffir women. So, we take on their problems. Sex out of wedlock. Cheering, don't know who their daddy is. Drugs. Competition. You got to sell yourself all the time. That's the life we want. We want to trade in Islam for that. And be miserable. Be unhappy. Never satisfied with what Allah has given us. Not acknowledging his blessings. Thinking that we're unattractive. That I have to keep doing things to make myself look better so I can compete with the other Kafirs. I mean, that's the life you sisters want. Y'all trading in Islam for that. Yeah. 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 Any other questions? Go ahead. Okay, here's a comment from one of the sisters here. She says, Sister Laila, when you break it down like this, you really make us see just where we are falling short. She said, and we have really fallen short as Muslim women. I said, yeah, we have. We've fallen short. We're westernized. Okay, Brother Jay, doing yoga is something different. That's an exercise. Okay, we're not talking about exercising. We're talking about sleeping and laying down on your stomach. Okay, I'm not talking about exercising. I'm not talking about if your job, you got to lay down on your stomach to pull somebody up out of a hole. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about laying on your stomach to sleep or just laying on your stomach to lay on your stomach. Does everybody understand? You don't want to make this religion ugly and hard. We have to use our common sense. If I'm working at a job, if I'm a fireman, and I have to lay on my stomach to pull a child up out of the basement, then I'm going to lay on my stomach and pull that child up out the basement. Okay, so don't take this stuff and make it ugly. All right, guys, Islam is simple. It's easy. Don't make it ugly and hard on yourselves. Okay? All right, next question. Yes, and yeah. Oh, I did mean it. Wait a minute. I did mean to say that earlier. Yes, Dr. Ali's classes and Jamali's classes on the weekends are canceled. They're gone, guys. Okay, that's why they're not on the schedules. But tomorrow, Dr. Ali is doing a special class on raising your children and trying to help them to keep the Muslim again. So the sisters see that weren't here earlier.
Ain't no love, being a thug, running through these streets like it's the place to be. Ain't no love, 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 you're gonna get caught up. Ain't no love, being a thug, running through these streets like it's the place to be. Ain't no love, 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 you're gonna get caught up.
Okay, guys, that's going to be the special class, that lecture that Dr. Ali is going to give tomorrow at 10:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's going to speak about, are your children gangsters? You know, are we raising our children to be gangsters? Are we raising our children to live a thug lifestyle? You know, have we westernized to the point where our children have lost that Islamic identity to the point that they're just Nicki Minaj's, Jay-Z, Kanye West? It's all about that thug lifestyle. So make sure you guys are here for that tomorrow. Okay, are there any other questions? And by the way, guys, what I'm going to work on for this show, I'm going to put it together the next week or two. As we're doing this Q&A, I'm going to also discuss, put together a topic of discussion, whereas as Muslim women, why is it, this is for the brothers, why is it that when men turn 60, because men go through menopause too, why is it that the older brothers marry young girls instead of older women? There's a reason for that. We're going to break down that reason. And I'm going to try to bring a professional doctor in here to tell y'all why too. Okay? So that's going to be, inshallah, the next couple of weeks. A topic that we'll talk about. Why is it that these brothers, when they go through their midlife crisis, which is menopause, they end up marrying 20 and 30-year-old girls? There's a reason behind the madness. That'll be a good topic for the brothers. All right. So if there's no other questions, are there any other questions in there? No? Okay, well, this was a good Islam Q&A. Inshallah, make sure that everybody is here tomorrow. Don't forget, the first class will be Dr. Asim's class at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Asim's class at 4. Then you have my class at 6. And then you have Brother Brother Hanif Bashir. Don't forget, guys, he'll be doing his class tomorrow. Don't forget. Let me see if I got a thing for his class. Don't I have a thing up here? I had one. What happened to it? Oh, I guess I took it down. I made a new one and didn't put it up. That's what happened. Yeah, Brother Hanif Bashir is doing his Minhaj class tomorrow at 7. And then at 9, we have my imitations of the prohibited imitations. And then at 11, Dr. Ali's special lecture. So we have a lot of classes lined up for tomorrow. I'll try to put that schedule out tonight so that everybody can make their plans around it. I want to thank everybody for joining and participating in this session of our Ask Sister Laila live show. Inshallah, the Zoom room is open if you like to come in there and hang out with us. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa